there is something telling you directly to you, saying that it will be there. Meet me and it will be there. The end goal, the end result, it will 100% be there. You think you would move forward. You think that you would finally start to have momentum again. What if God itself said, meet me and I will 100% be there? Would you tremble? Would you be scared to move? I think a lot of the times we limit ourselves and delay ourselves, not because we have a lack of passion for something, but because we have this fear lingering in ourselves. This little voice saying, oh, this isn't for you. Don't go this way. Do something else. I had a disbelief that, can I even do it? And if I do it, can I do it well? And yet the same narratives run through my mind, that little voice in my head saying, this isn't for you. Oh, don't go this way. Do something else. You're not going to succeed at this. That's a reminder, those voices are a reminder that I've been limiting myself, boxing myself into this little box and shielding myself from disappointment and also the potential of myself. I created comfort moments and safe spaces for myself when really those weren't safe environments. They were just me protecting myself from myself. I wanted to run away from myself, and really that is not a safe environment. That is abandonment. It was a false sense of comfort and a false sense of safety because all we're doing is running from ourselves. Now we don't have to show up for ourselves. So now we don't have to hear that little voice in our head or face, possible disappointment. But when I finally realized I've been delaying myself over and over again, I've thought about it and I took some time to ponder about it. And the reason why we delay ourselves so much is mostly about perceptions and also scared of being a failure. I was doing really well, and then one perception just stopped me off my journey. But now that I'm looking back, if that one perception didn't stop me, the path I was going to, it wasn't humble. I feel like it was very arrogant, and I would most likely have everything that I wanted, but I would have no soul. I would have nothing to speak on. I would have no one to inspire. I would have no one to motivate. I think a lot of the times we get obsessed with the destination, the end goal, the end result, and we forget the journey. That is the most important part. You can't rush your way to the goal. Once you get there, you're gonna realize it was all about the journey, not the destination. The beauty of it, the pieces that you picked up, I realized it's not even the goal itself. It's something beneath the goal that you're going to discover in your own journey. It's about the gems that you pick up, the people that you've ran into and talked to for hours. It's about the mistakes that you've learned from. It's about the setbacks, the fallbacks, and how you got back up and went about it. It's about how you observed yourself and came back 10 times stronger. But along this journey, we scoop up little truths about ourselves that make us have realizations about ourselves and equip us to meet what is for us. And before, I would just be so frustrated. I was just focusing on the end results. I was not sure why certain things were happening. I was not sure why certain people were acting a certain way. I was so frustrated. But now when I look back, I see that God was working in my favor and I wasn't even realizing it. I was so frustrated with the fact that I was not getting where I was supposed to be at. But instead, he was placing things in my way to make me have realizations about myself. And I didn't realize that at the point. I was just like, why is this person acting like this? Why is this happening? I never, ever thought about the journey. It was just, I was focused on one thing, end result, that's it. That's how you end up with no soul. That's how you end up with no stories to tell people. That is how you end up miserable with everything that you have. Some of the richest people in the world, they have everything that they want, but they have nothing to tell people. They have nothing to inspire because they became so obsessed with the end results, and that's all they focus on. They didn't stop to make any time to talk to anyone. They didn't make any time to have all these realizations and, setbacks about themselves. They were rushing it. That's what I was doing. I was rushing it. Also, we have to learn to free ourselves from mental slavery. It's so hard to get out of our minds and, you know, escape that little box inside of our minds, but you need to finally move forward with yourself. Once you escape mental slavery and you start having these realizations, it's going to be easier to move forward. You need to give yourself permission to free yourself. I would get into this habit and I would get to a point of a realization and then I would retreat. I'd become really good at something. I would achieve at this and then I would retreat. Like, I realized when I was being called into the next stage, I would be terrified. I was like, don't want to do this anymore. I'm out. Would retreat and I would just use everything as an excuse. I'd use my family, I'd use my environment, I'd use my friends, everything that I could think of, all types of reasons to slow down my pathway and just keep myself enslaved into that little box and mental slavery. It would just be all types of reasons to go a different pathway once I realized like this is starting to get real. It became a reoccurring habit. I would do this with almost everything. But I realized that you don't have to be so resilient and strong at everything. You just have to realize your wrongs and then keep persisting forward. That's what taught me about persistence and adaptability. Not being so hard on myself, just being present, because I was never present. I was always focusing on the future instead of the now. And once you realize that you're in the now, you're going to enjoy the moment. You're not going to be worrying about this and that and that. Oh, what about this? You're going to be enjoying the journey and have a deeper understanding about it. I'm going to use this as an example. When you plant a seed, do you look outside the window and watch it grow every second? No. Does the seed question whether it's going to become a tree or not? No. It simply trusts in the process and reaches for the light. And that's how it becomes a tree. We are like that little seed waiting to be planted. And we have this vast potential in us. And it is calling us to stretch and grow and become the person that we need to become and continue to flourish and grow. And that seed isn't going to stop calling you. It's going to keep calling. Once you answer that call, it's never going to stop calling. And I always tried to run from my seed or the way that I was supposed to grow. It was always, always calling me. And that is a call that is never going to stop calling because it is meant for you. That call is meant for you. But finally, when we answer that call and we meet our journey with faith and trust, you will have a deeper wisdom and understanding about the whole journey in it all. I realize that it isn't always about the big gestures or the big goals, the grand goals. It is about the small steps that we take every single day that build up our confidence and strength. And also, it is about the experience itself. I asked God for strength. I was given an experience to cultivate my strength. I asked God for wisdom. I was given an experience to deepen my wisdom. I asked God for understanding. I was given an experience to deepen my understanding about myself. The experience in itself is a gift, never the destination. And now that I've realized that at 19 years old, my perspective on everything has changed so much. The way that I view people and talk to people now, I was very closed off before. I didn't care to talk to people. Now, how am I going to have a story to tell? How am I going to inspire people? How am I going to motivate people? You have to get out there. That is how we become arrogant and egotistical, because you are just so in your own reality and little world that you're just focused on this one thing. And meanwhile, it's not that bad to be focused on just that one end result, but you're gonna be meaningless, soulless, nothing to tell people. You have to rewire your mind and make it not think so much about the materialistic things. And me, myself, I didn't rewire my mind. God did that for me. I was very materialistic and egotistical, and God humbled me and was like, it is not about the destination. The way that I want you to go, it is not this way that you are trying to go by yourself. Sometimes we ask for things and we don't realize why things are going the way that it is going. Say you ask God for a partner in a nice house. God will give you an experience to become that great partner, to work on yourself and be the person that you would want to end up with. But we don't understand that at the time. It will give you that opportunity to heal yourself, to love yourself, to become one with yourself, to become with a calm mindset. You know, the things that we are always searching for and looking for, we don't even have that. We lack it in ourselves. So God will give you that experience to change your heart and your mind. Then you will realize what he was doing. Once you finally show up for whoever you believe in, they will follow you. They will start opening opportunities, opportunities, aligning resources and people for you. You have to take that step and enjoy the journey, because it will all come together and you will see that. Everything will start working in your favor when you finally stop holding on to the destination and enjoy the journey. We think that small steps don't matter, but the small steps is what really is making us consistent. You know, it's the small steps that are letting us inspire us to take more action. It's the small steps that build consistency up. Every step counts. The destination is in every single step. Meet that step with certainty. Don't doubt yourself with the steps that you take. And if you ever lose passion for something, cultivate that passion, because initially when you have a passion for something, that is just a chemistry between you and that thing. So cultivate it. You know, in order to make it an everlasting passion, you need to cultivate that. It's like with everything else, like with love and relationships, you have to cultivate that, because at all times you're not going to have chemistry. You know, you're not going to have that passion that you once had for it. You're going to have to cultivate through it, just like you're cultivating through this journey. The journey is about realizing yourself and basically letting it all play out like a beautiful dance, a beautiful show. Just waiting and letting it play out. Not waiting, but seeing it and the beauty of it, the discoveries of it, the gems that you pick up, the way that you have cultivated your mindset and your hearts, the things that you've realized. It is all a beautiful play, and it's playing out in your favor. You know, I can't believe just a few months ago I never thought like this. I was very materialistic. I was only thinking about the things that I've wanted. I only thought about myself, myself, myself. You are never going to have a story to tell if you think about yourself, yourself, yourself. And it's not just about the story. It is about inspiring people. Who are you going to inspire? Why are you doing all this? Why are you going through this journey? A lot of people, they get the things that they want and they go about life like they never went through that hardship. They go about life that they never went through that journey. They don't take the time to go inspire someone else and talk to someone randomly. You know, someone that they meet, they just act like they had it all. No, that is how you just become meaningless and illogical. It's so easy to get distracted too. My own flesh was pulling me here, there, there. My friends and family were distracting me. My desires were distracting me. It was hard, but you know, the only place that God is calling you to, you have to listen to. Don't listen to everything else. Don't indulge in anything else. You can use your discernment and realize that this is going to throw you off your pathway, especially at a young age. For me, it's difficult to not give in. It's difficult not to listen to those desires. It's difficult to distract myself from the truth. I realized mostly everything and everyone around me was in a hurry, especially me. I was in a hurry to get to where I wanted to be at. the technology, distractions, all of that. You can't pay attention to it. I was in such a hurry to get there, I didn't even realize that my destination was steadily evolving. I am constantly growing in wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. I was just so fast to get there. I realized that when I was gonna get there, if I kept going that way, I was going to feel discouraged. I was going to feel soulless. Once you go through what you go through, it's a testimony. I was trying to act brand new. Like I was trying to act like I didn't go through anything. Once you go through that, it's time for you to pull somebody up. It's time for you to inspire somebody. And I didn't think like that. I was trying to act like this brand new person, like, oh, I gotta like this, I gotta like that. Not humble whatsoever. And now I realize that. And throughout the journey, I've had haters, and I didn't realize why they were hating, and I would be mad and stuff like that. But now, I mean, why can't I forgive them? Nobody taught them like why they hate. They're angry, they're mad, they don't know how to not hate. They can see God through me. So I stopped being a drain, and once I started being a fountain, I never cared about the haters or anything else that wasn't working in my favor. Just be humble and enjoy the journey and not the destination. And I love y'all. I hope this video helps someone. It's connected to you.